Okay, so continuing with texture, we've moved into Photoshop. There's obviously been some other tutorials on how to add texture in Photoshop, but we would like to show you how to create the halftone effect, which is like when the dots represent the dark and light areas. And obviously, the closer together they are, the darker the image, and then when they're more spaced out, it's sort of mid-tones and then no dots for the lightest tones. So I've taken my Beach Vibes poster. The first thing I probably want to do is just work with this more limited colour palette. So I'm just going to desaturate this, and then I'm going to go in and recolour it. Sort of the yellow sort of tones, and I might just refine that by going into colour balance and sort of upping, particularly on the shadows, I think, to warm it up a little bit. There, that's fine. You could obviously play a little bit more with refining that, but it's got sort of a similar sense of the layers emerging from the texture and the images emerging from the texture rather than the colour. I'm then going to create a new layer, and I've sourced this image of Maya Gabira, who's a big wave surfer, so obviously with that beach vibes, and I'm going to select my subject, which allows Photoshop to do the hard work with my selection tools and selects the majority of the work that I want to work with. I can go in and select a mask just to refine it if I sort of feel I didn't want the leash or whatever. I can remove that. Is that going? I think it's going. Yeah, that'll do. You can be more meticulous and careful. So if I press OK, and then if I click down at the bottom of my layers panel to add a layer mask, and you can see it's taken away all of the background and I'm left just with my subject matter. Make sure you click on your thumbnail, not the mask, and then I'm just going to desaturate my photo. And they work better when you've got these strong contrasts between very dark and very light. So I'm just going to go into my brightness and contrast, up the brightness and up the contrast, and press OK. And then I'm going to go into my filter gallery, and I've already got the halftone selected because I was playing earlier. So if I just fit on screen, so it's nested. If you open it up and they're all closed, it's nested in Sketch, and it's the halftone pattern. So you can change the size of your dots to something that feels appropriate for your work, and press OK. Now obviously mine has picked up on the yellow palette, and the white is solid fill rather than transparent. So if I want to further edit that, I can adjust, and I can go into my black and white, and I can sort of darken it by toning down all of the colours like so it becomes a really strong contrast between the dark and light. And then if I want to remove my whites, I can use my my magic wand tool, zoom in and pick one of the white pixels, and then if I select similar, it's going to select all of those white pixels, and then I can delete them and Control D, they've been removed like so. So that's sort of how you could start to play with some halftone. Obviously this would then benefit, I think, from some of the other more stronger shape, photographic imagery, building up the layers as appropriate.